to Velasquez.
That non-focusing medicine, right?
I think it's awesome because first of all, I'm a huge Tito Ortiz fan. Second of all, he's obviously still doing decent in the MMA ring.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of the Cain Velasquez, Tito Ortiz, a lot of the MMA guys that are slowly making moves over. Ortiz definitely seems to have the charisma.
Yeah, I think he's got the best shot out of any of them.
He was always my favorite back when UFC was like was the ECW of. I don't know. I don't want to say the ECW of MMA because MMA was the ECW of sports, but you know what I want to. When nobody took it seriously.
Yeah.
There was the Ken Shamrocks. There was the Tito Ortiz.
Cain Velasquez ruined it for me when he didn't come out in a Cain mask.
Dan Severin.
He should have had a Cain mask and like a sombrero. Cain Velasquez.
We like that. It's interesting. I think it's good that he's there. I think it'd be good that he. I have mixed feelings about these people, but over time I tend to grow more towards them. In WWE, mind you.
Yeah.
I think he'd be great to be a part-time wrestler.
Yeah, I give it some merits, and I do feel like for every one we send over, we should probably take one on, right?
Not sure what you mean there, but I'll nod my head and smile.
Every wrestler we send over to the world of MMA, we should take one MMA fighter into the world of wrestling.
That sounds way better than how you made it sound.
It's a student exchange program.
I like it. It sounded very racist when you originally said it.
No.
And
I'm not white by choice.
Paystee, racism hurts us all, and that brings us into the injury report.
It just hurt me right now.
And F4W Online reports that Samoa Joe is currently out of action after suffering an injury while filming a WWE commercial, believe it or not, last week. Yes, Joe reportedly hit his head and suffered a concussion on a table break spot gone wrong. To make matters worse, Paystee, this is Joe's second concussion in less than 1 month. Ouch. As we reported just a few weeks ago that on the January 27th Raw, Joe teamed with Kevin Owens against Seth Rollins and Murphy for the tag title when Joe went for a dive through the ropes and landed hard on the floor, giving him a concussion.
Bret Hart told me it was all Seth Rollins' fault.
I think it could have been. Either that or it could have been Samoa Joe's fault because he blamed Samoa Joe for Tyson Kidd.
Yeah.
It's PCO's
fault for training Joe at PCO's wrestling school. In which you're taught to dive out the opposite side of the ring as your opponents.
When you're only working with one eye. This is sad, though. 2 concussions in less than a month. It's obviously going to put him on. I would hope and I would say it's obviously going to put him on the sidelines for a while.
Dude, with Taz being an announcer for AEW now on Dynamite, Joe's going to be put on an announce table real fucking fast now.
Joe's been on an announce table before, and he's really good.
He is really good, and he's the perfect counter move to Taz being on AEW's announce.
But I would dare say that I would be worried that he might end up having to miss WrestleMania. Not only because I don't know that he'd be cleared in time, but, are they worried about... If he goes at WrestleMania, I don't see him winning anything.
The only way they go to WrestleMania is if they keep this Seth, Murphy, Kevin, Joe shit up until then. That's the only thing they could have for him at WrestleMania, and that would be not good.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's probably better to sit this one out. He's probably better to not be in WWE, but he probably likes to make the money for not doing a whole lot. So
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
We're running long, Paystee. You want to bust out the last one on our injury report here?
Yes, indeed. The OTT Wrestling promotion announced today that Tyler Bate has been pulled from their Dead On event scheduled for this coming Saturday in Belfast due to an injury. Bate and Trent Seven were scheduled to defend their OTT tag team titles, their OTT TTTs, against the True Pros at OTT Dead On. There's no word yet on details of the injury, but Bate and Seven last teamed up at Worlds Collide event on January 25th. Rumor has it Tyler Bate may have slipped and trimmed a little bit of his mustache off by accident, and this is why he can't compete.
That's what happens. We've all been there, and that's what happens.
They'd have to change their name to Mustache Mohill.
Sadly, and this is real talk, folks. Real talk here. I'm opening up. This is Fat Mac opening from the soul. Real talk. I've had dreams where I accidentally shaved off like part of one half of my mustache, and I cried. Like it's a big thing. It was a nightmare.
The worst part is you make one tiny mistake, you're like, fuck, I gotta fix it. Even it up on the other side, and then it's a little bit too much. And the next thing you know, you don't have any hair or eyebrows or fucking...
Oh, I've literally had dreams I did that, and it's like, it's scary.
I've done it in life. Not the eyebrows, but...
It's sad.
I have had full-grown adult meltdowns where I've shaved my beard the wrong way, and I just took everything off.
Well, Paystee, Court Bauer is having a meltdown, and it isn't because of a mustache, it's because of WWE, and I can't say I blame him. Damn it all. PW Insider is reporting that sources within MLW told them lawyers have contacted WWE about contract tampering concerns regarding multiple talents.
Everybody does it.
Now, a source within MLW says they have evidence against WWE in this regard. It is not clear which wrestlers or talent under MLW contract were approached by WWE, but this is not the first time such concerns have been raised. In fact, in late 2018, MLW sent a cease and desist order to WWE. In fact, we talked about it on this exact program. This was regarding contacting their talent. Quote, I had guys at Wale Mania approached by WWE people backstage in the green room about signing, Bauer said on Wrestling Observer Radio in 2018. I'm like, you can't do that. I'll give you a freebie this time. Don't fuck with me again. Boom! They do it again. I had to send a cease and desist to WWE. That's called torturous interference. MLW contracts prohibit the talent from working with WWE and speaking with WWE while under these contracts. However, MLW continues to enjoy a healthy relationship with many promotions, including AEW. AEW and MLW have shared wrestlers such as MJF for months, with seemingly no issues cropping up between the two promotions. The situation, though, is said to have nothing to do with Davey Boy Smith Jr. recently appearing on WWE's The Bump. It seems like that was okay through MLW. However, we assume because no one watches that show, it really doesn't matter.
That's because WWE's The Bump should be a documentary about wrestling in the 70s and 80s.
I would agree. I would watch that. I would watch it.
Like Ric Flair's The Bump. Let's see that one.
Yeah, Ultimate Warriors, The Bump.
You know, it's a good thing for Vince McMahon that his good friend Donald Trump is our president, and those were all perfect meetings.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I can't help it. There could be some good news coming for the entire incarcerated Tammy Lynn Sitch soon. According to PW Insider, she had a hearing on February 20th as part of a parole petition filed by her new attorneys last month. Remember, Sonny has been in prison for almost a year stemming from legal problems catching up with her in early 2019. Sitch's legal troubles are the result of multiple DUI offenses and various dangerous driving charges. Sitch has also had bail revoked in recent years for failing to report her whereabouts, or what the courts refer to as failing to maintain a stable residence. She also has failed to pay court-ordered payments of $120 to remain out on bail. We wish her luck on life moving forward. It's got to be rough when you can't afford $120 to get out on bail and your premium Snapchat ain't cranking in those dollars.
Paystee, I know so you and I are...
sell yourself to wrestling fans.
You and I are like a half or a quarter generation away from each other. But it's like sad. I used to jerk off to her. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like now this is her. You know what I mean? It's how do I live in a world where I used to jerk off to this woman who not only she's not an ugly woman. She's a very pretty woman, but she's not what she used to look like.
Yeah.
But this is her life. Like you said, she can't afford $120 to stay out on bail. She can't stay in one place of residence. She can't quit drinking and driving.
Best place for her to be is locked up, right?
At this point, probably, but it is sad.
It really is.
It's sad for her, but it's more sad for me because I used to jerk off to that. Like that makes
Thank
my
God
penis
Trish
sad.
Stratus got old and boring.
Yeah, I never jerked off to Trish Stratus. She was after my jerk off time for fictional
You
characters.
used to set the PlayStation 1 wrestling game loading screens to just divas and just kind of spank in between rounds.
And speaking of jerk off shows, we got the Super Showdown, Paystee.
Yes, otherwise known as Seaman Canyon.
WWE Seaman Canyon predictions. I think we'll knock through these pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I think we can do this in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, first of all, none of these affect anything. You even mentioned this before we went on air. We've realized that. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We don't know. But
it always brings controversy, so we have to do predictions so we can talk about the after effects in the coming weeks.
We have to. And it's such a huge show for WWE. Far be it from us to ignore it. Raw Tag Team Championships, Paystee. We got Seth Rollins and Murphy, who allegedly cannot use the buddy name now. He lost his first name also.
Lost his fucking first. The dude, I was so mad. I screamed at the television.
At least he lost the buddy and not the Murphy, so I can still call him Murph Dirt.
Yeah,
that
right.
was my thing with him.
Yeah.
So we got Seth Rollins.
Wouldn't it be great if he was just Buddy?
Or just Bud. How about just Murph? What's up, Murph?
How about just BM?
BM.
Bowel
We like
movements.
BM. We like old BM. I like him just being not just but just anytime. We've got
Xavier
new tag
Woods
team
trombone
champions,
sound.
Seth Rollins and versus the Street Profits. Paystee, what do you got here?
Oh boy. Well, the rumors are swirling that Seth and Becky are taking some time off after WrestleMania. So it only makes sense for this to dissolve and they come head to head or something. But I've already got that called for some other shit WrestleMania season. So it's hard to say, but I got to go with the Street Profits because they're really entertaining to watch and great in the ring and probably the best main roster tag team right now. That isn't the New Day, and Xavier's not there, so that doesn't help them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go with Seth Rollins and That's
what we're calling him from now on. Then we have the To Whack Trophy Gauntlet match.
They've gotten to whack. Oh.
To whack or not to whack? Is that my boner, or is that more media personnel's heads?
It's a little of both, Paystee.
And we'll see AJ Styles versus Andrade versus Bobby Lashley versus Eric Rowan versus R-Truth versus Rusev. And this will be Rusev's first appearance in WWE in weeks. As since this wedding thing happened, they've had nothing to do for him. Just hold on, Rusev. You're going to come out looking real good at the end of this.
If he shows, I'm still banking on Rusev isn't on this show and Mansoor takes his place here.
There you go. That would make sense.
Because they're still, and maybe they're playing all of us, but there's still talks that Rusev and WWE are at odds with each other about his contract. So
yeah,
I don't know. Nonetheless, that has nothing to do with my pick. I'm picking the man who used to have the cage, still has the cage.
He still has a cage. The cloth is still on the cage, so we still haven't seen